Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is Leroy for the Digital Bench. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Amazing Spider-Man 2. New release just came out this week, same week as the motion picture that we all know and love. So of course it's going to be a movie-inspired video game, which those are always tremendous, right? Like those have always been top-notch quality products. Released this week for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. But today I'm going to be taking a look at the PS4 version. So we'll see if we can jump right into it. Now, I've already played a little bit of the game, but I'm just gonna... You get a good sense of it from the earlier stages, so we're just gonna start a new game here. Stick with the hero difficulty, which I'm assuming is gonna be like the medium. Creating a new game will erase your old save game, deleting all of your progress. Are you sure you want to do this? That's a good sign. We're already off to a good start. So apparently starting this new is gonna wipe out my own game save, so... whatever. Now, Spider-Man games have, from what I understand, have always had a history of being very polarizing in terms of quality. Some end up being highly regarded as phenomenal open-world games. I think Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 was pretty much one of the best Spider-Man games to ever come out. And then you have those that pretty much end up being sort of a travesty to modern gaming. See how this one sort of pans out.
Hey, somebody stop that guy! He just robbed me! Hey, kid, a little help?
Not my problem.
Oh, you are a douche, kind sir.
Somebody stop that dude!
Doesn't take much to get from where you are to where I am.
Aw, you look like a sad little puppy.
Yo, buddy, cheer up. We're gonna check out a killer band. You should come.
Remember, happiness is a choice.
Look at that dent! This is
Because clearly everyone in New York is a tremendously unfeeling scumbag of a person. That's the sense that I'm getting from this dialogue.
Hey!
That was close by. I should get over there. Uncle Ben!
Oh.
Uncle Ben! No! No! Call an ambulance! Somebody help! Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben, hang on! Uncle Ben! Come on!
Of course, this is setting up your requisite Uncle Ben passing away
I
storyline.
couldn't count on anything. A world where my parents disappeared.
I can't tell if this is the actual voice of Andrew Garfield. I'm going to go ahead and assume no, because this dude does not look a single thing like him, so they probably couldn't get clearance for using his likeness for the video game adaptation. I could be wrong. I know nothing of the sort. This is just me speculating, but that seems like it would make the most sense to me. So why even bother doing a movie game if you can't have the
Killed Uncle Ben.
hero look like the actual person
One
portraying?
more empty space and a life full of it.
Just my own nitpicky little thing there. Higher combo meter, yeah, I'm not gonna read that. Use your web pull abilities to decide, yeah, sure, whatever. Now, when I started playing this a little bit earlier, you can just sort of see from this scene right here, this isn't really the greatest looking game. especially
The
for
man who killed Uncle Ben is out there somewhere.
a game that's been ported over to the new systems. Like I would even argue that this doesn't even look good for
stop
like a
looking for
potential
Uncle Ben's
PS3
killer.
or 360 title.
Never.
I feel like this is more this looks more like a PS2 game. Let's be completely honest here. Alright, so we're getting into the swing mechanics. Now, this is one of the things that I sort of don't like about the game already. You'll see it in a second. So you hold forward and hold L2 to swing with your left hand. And then you let go in order to build your momentum. And then it's hold forward and right trigger to web swing with your right hand. So, you know, you're alternating between the two. It's left hand, then right hand. And then you can release it at different arcs to sort of affect Spider-Man's momentum, like it says right there on the tooltip. I get the idea that they're trying to go for, trying to make it sort of an immersive style of
I better check it
web
out.
swinging, but really it just comes off as sort of tedious, like constantly just having to switch back and forth between the two, instead of just like traditionally with these style of superhero games, just holding down a trigger button and just having it, at this point, auto run or leap over obstacles for you. That way you're not breaking up your momentum, like as you're traveling throughout the city. If you're going to do an open world game like this, I can't feel like I'm constantly stopping to pay attention to where I'm moving. I should be able to, for the most part, navigate to where I need to be as easily as possible. Like I don't want movement to be a distraction in these style of games. So we got our mini-map there. A little bit of trouble with the web swinging there. Got the mini-map there showing off where our next objective is, so I'm going to move towards there. A lot of drab environments. Nothing really too highly detailed. All of the buildings look exactly the same, which is a bit of a bummer. Especially if you're going to do open world, like you need to create an interesting environment.
Heavy, how about a hand?
I set this gig up. That makes me the boss and you the hired help. So shut up and put some effort into it.
The ringleader looks like the guy who killed Uncle Ben. But I'm not sure. I need to get some pictures of him.
And when I say this game is sort of drab, like you can even see looking at this interface right here, the fonts, all of your UI and HUD stuff. This is as plain Jane as you can get with this style of game.
That's not who I'm after. What the?
We got our spider sense here, which if I had to equate it to anything, it's almost sort of like a detective mode. If you play Batman Arkham City or any of the Arkham games, it's sort of like detective mode in that. And there's a lot more that it sort of cribs from that series too, as you'll see in the combat right now. So like your triangle button is going to be your dodge, which is your counterattack, or your dodge / counterattack. Square is your attack as well. And it's got sort of that free form style of combat that they built up in the Arkham games. You've even got the combo meter right off to the side there. Like the longer you can keep your combat going without interruption, the higher your combo meter builds, which means more experience you get when you defeat the enemies. Which, I guess if you're going to rip off a game, you know, that's going to be the series that you want to rip off. Tried and true. But at the same time, it's like you're not doing anything different. This feels like a poor man's rendition of it. Like, not terrible, but it's just functional. That's all it is. It doesn't do anything special to add to it, doesn't vary it. It's just, hey, we saw this was a good idea. People seem to really love it, so we're going to use that for us without changing up the formula at all.
You're gonna pay for what you've done, Spider-Man!
All webbed up and no.
And then circle's going to be your web shoot, which would essentially be, it's almost like the gadgets from Batman. Like, this would be this game's gadgets button. You've even got signature finishing moves that you can do as well. Which I guess those look sort of cool. But still not like anything mind-blowing.
From here!
Quiet. Let me see your hands.
See?
Huh. It's your lucky night. You're not the guy I'm after. Unless you had a tattoo removed.
No, man, no. I'm afraid of needles. And heights. So how about let me down, huh?
Relax, you're fine.
What?
Until the webbing dissolves. But, you know, the cops will find you by then.
Please, what do you
Probably.
want? Maybe I can help you find who you're looking for. Just put me on the ground, yeah?
Guess the jails all have the same fashion magazines, because there sure are a lot of criminals who look like you.
Huh?
I'm trying to find this one.
Yeah, I seen that guy.
Oh.
He sells guns to my boss, Herman Schultz.
Lying will not improve my moves.
Yeah, I swear. Mr. Schultz is doing a deal right now. I don't know if it's with him, but he's buying enough firepower to take on an army, man.
Army? Which army?
The Russians, man. They arm up, we arm up. Scary times, man. You gotta be ready for anything, you know what I'm talking about?
Tell me where to find Schultz, okay? Maybe I'll upgrade your accommodations to a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah,
Sounds
sounds
pretty
good,
cush.
yeah.
Huh? Got a deal?
Alright, so now we got the web rush, which is basically, again, it's like Batman Arkham's grappling hook, where you can use it to propel you forward and keep your momentum going as you're trying to traverse the city. But it's just not as fluid. Like, it's very stilted. You have to find specific vantage points, not unlike Arkham. It's just they're so few and far in between.
Gotta head to that construction site if I'm gonna
You
find
still
this
constantly feel
Schultz
like you're being interrupted when you're traveling throughout the cityscape. Really fucking hate this web swing mechanic. Because half the time you end up just crashing into the building anyway. Like, even if you web swing into a building, Spider-Man has his wall run, but you don't immediately control the direction he's going in, so you end up doing weird, dumb shit like this, where he runs. Like, I'm holding up as I do this. Let's try one more time. Alright, so you're web running up the building. Half the time, when you hit the wall to do the wall run, even if you're holding up, you're running sideways, which doesn't make any sense. So it just makes trying to get to where you need to be, it makes it take a lot longer. And this game really can't afford those sort of hiccups.
Every crew in the city's running low on guns. This'll give us a hell of an advantage.
You mean us? Surrender the guns and maybe you live.
Come get them, punks.
How about I take the guns? I don't think you guys are qualified to use them responsibly.
Alright, so now we're going to activate our detective mode, spider sense.
Ours now.
Like, even right down to highlighting the enemies as you're in detective mode, that's just straight up, that's just kind of lazy. So we got web rush mode, which, if you hold it down, I think you target someone, and then you release, and you swing right to them.
You know what you're doing? I tell you, you have other options in life, but I'm not really sure you do. We're all better off if no one gets their hands on that ammo. If I focus, maybe I can sense where the other ammo crates are. Nothing. Time, pal. Didn't I already fight you? You're just phoning this in, aren't you? No animals were hurt.
Yeah, even like Batman, I guess when you've weakened them enough. I saw with one of the dudes I was just fighting.
Let's go for the hat trick.
Little halo pops up over his head, lets you know that you can use your finishing move.
Service here is terrible. I demand to speak to your manager.
worry, he'll find you.
What the?
I'll just take care of this last crate real quick.
The gang members. I ruin all their fun. Ah, you must be Schultz. Your goon said you were ugly, but whoa! He was being charitable.
Think you can take me, huh, freak? Well, I'm not gonna make it easy for you.
Oh, come on. All your friends did.
You just bought yourself a ticket to hell.
Oh no, I'm so scared.
You're gonna
Not.
pay for that, bug.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I understand the Spider-Man's thing has always been sort of like wisecracks and, you know, being a smart ass, but even his quips in this game, they really don't feel funny or anything special. It just sort of comes off as annoying,
Begging you, man. Look, don't kill me like
you know, annoying one-liners designed to sort of fill in the awkward pauses.
Guns. Just tell me what you need, huh?
I hear you do business with this guy.
Like, even by comic book dialogue standards, this is really subpar. And now we're at this point where, like, apparently there are conversation branches that you can use when you're doing certain missions. So we're just going to cut straight to the point where we're going to ask about Ben's killer, because I don't care about anything else that this guy has to say.
Carradine. Don't know if that's his real name, huh? He sells guns without those annoying background checks.
Where do you meet him?
I mean, it's different each time. You put the word out you want to make a deal, he calls. Always on a disposable cell phone. He's a real paranoid fella, you know? Yeah, he must have a guilty conscience. Come on, we got a deal? Huh?
And we'll finish this conversation, because I don't give a shit about any of the plot in this.
In Alphabet City. Okay, he goes by Carradine. I think I got his latest number here in my phone.
Wait, don't! Stupid! I was so desperate for answers, I let him play me like an amateur.
Now, I guess things could be worse. I guess it could be a super broken game that doesn't actually function. It does work, like the things you push the buttons and they respond and they do what you tell them to do. It just feels like everything in this was just sort of gone through the motions on. And to be fair, I don't really expect anything more out of a motion picture game. It's just disappointing, especially when we've reached this age of a new generation of consoles. And look at this cityscape right here. Like, it really doesn't look any better than like a late generation PS2 game. Now, you've just increased the effectiveness of Spider-Man. Yeah, so as you're going through and you earn XP, you gain levels, and you can upgrade different things on Spider-Man suits. Essentially like the same thing with the combat upgrades from the Arkham series. I don't even know what the credits are, upgrade points are. I'm just going to call them your upgrade points. So you can upgrade like the web shoot skill, the spider sense skill, web rush, web pull, and then of course there will be more that I'm assuming unlock as you progress further throughout the game. I've got about 1250 right now. Web pull. I feel like I would want to use that. Let's just take a look at it. Practice Spider-Man learns how to use the web pull technique to yank enemies' weapons. Yeah. So like that's one that I would want to use just to pull enemies' weapons out of their hands and disarm them, but I don't have enough credits for that yet. Spider Sense apparently increases the range of the Spider Sense, which I really kind of don't care about. I'm not going to be stopping too much to explore the environment. Web Throw. You can lift large objects and web shoot efficiency. So it can stick to anyone or anything, which, okay, all of those seem very useless right now. I really just want the, you know, I even forgot that what I wanted because that's how,
hard can this be?
that's how sort of boring it is. So we're just going to continue to the next, next mission. Look, like he doesn't even attempt to grasp onto the building. You have to hold the run button in order to do so. Just feels like extra work to do something as simple as move around, which in a Spider-Man game, that should never, ever be the case.
Looks like I can't tap into the cell tower until I disable all their security devices. Wow, I might actually have to switch to this company.
I suppose the texture on that suit looks pretty okay. It doesn't make up for everything else being so bland.
Okay, Alphabet City, talk to me.
And of course, like you've got your main missions, but with any sort of open world game, there's always going to be sort of the side missions that pop up here and there that you can go through and check out for bonus XP and things like that. But I kind of don't care. Heroic events will appear now and then in the city. After a while, each event will enter a critical stage, and from that point, you need to hurry up to reach it. Otherwise, Spidey will be held accountable for his inaction. So yeah, it seems like there's sort of a reputation system built in as well, where like if you're not going through and solving every single crime throughout the city, what's his name, J. Jonah, will run a negative story on Spider-Man and sort of downplay his heroicness for the city.
Spidey to go clubbing.
If I were Spider-Man in this universe, I kind of wouldn't give a shit about what he has to say either.
But whoever he is, I can't let him put more guns on the street.
The spider!
Let's not fight. Ah, never mind. Let's fight. You know, I hear jail's a lot nicer now. The toilets have seats and everything. Fool me once.
Ditch the evidence. I'll buy a drink. A Molotov cocktail.
Your call, Spider-Man. Chase us or let those people burn.
And we got this one mission here where oh, there he is.
Hey, help! My glasses are all fogged up.
This one. Get out of here. There we go. all those people's heads were clipping. If you get a chance, just rewind to a couple seconds ago. You'll see like
The Daily Bugle.
their heads and their hats were clipping on and off. It's great.
I'm not gonna stop you. So long. I should head over to the comics.
So yeah, we did our heroic deed. That's going to get us some good press there. I don't know what the good press is for, though. It doesn't matter.
Ran out of rope.
So we just rescued Stanley. We're going to head to his comic book shop because that's... Why wouldn't he have one? It does feel sort of pointless having to confirm that you want to enter this building that you just very clearly chose to enter by pushing the initial button prompt. Little design decisions like that are really sort of what's holding me back from even attempting to like this game.
Peter?
Hey, Stan.
Oh, welcome back, true believer.
Although I will say, it seems like the majority of the budget went into making sure Stanley looked as lifelike as possible.
I am so sorry about your Uncle Ben. Oh, he was a good man. He was the best.
Thanks. I was just remembering how we used to come in together. After the mess I made house sitting for you, I felt kind of bad.
Oh, water under the bridge. Hey, can't I get you anything? Some Merry Marvel mayhem to get the old pulse pounding?
Nah, I was just passing by, but I'll come back.
Well, enough said. Anytime you need inspiration, I'll be right here.
Of course, you can get those figures, get the comic books, which I think you can actually read in-game as well. I haven't collected any of them yet. And you get some concept art from the production of the game, which I'm sure the concept art is probably really cool. It's just I would want to play through this to look at that.
Man, swinging around town in a spider suit really gives your deodorant a workout.
We can read a comic. Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, this is straight up. These are straight up the comics. So that's pretty neat. I guess if you're like a big Spider-Man fan, that'll be like one of the collectible aspects that you'll want to seek out throughout this game. Like the models aren't that bad. It's just it's surrounded by a lot of not good stuff. So it sort of drags the overall quality down tremendously. Why don't I have the May figure? That's weird. Yep, not a big fan of that, but that's for another time. So we'll say goodbye to Stanley. Yes, I would like to leave. That's why I pushed the button to leave. I don't understand that. This dread train goes.
Okay, in what world does meat lovers mean mushrooms?
Yeah, way, and I'm like, nuh-uh, and she's all like, yaha, it's so true.
Dean. What do you need?
Firepower, man. It's getting crazy out there, you know what I'm saying? We need some serious boomstick, and they say you're the guy that can make that happen.
Alley behind Nuno's bar, 2 hours.
Still don't have enough for the upgrades I want, so whatever. That doesn't matter to me.
Bada bing!
So that was just some of the introductory stuff in Spider-Man 2. Just sort of the well, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just some of the more core gameplay elements. I'm not going to really go too much more in depth with it. I would imagine that a lot of the boss fights, you know, if for as much as they are inspired by the Arkham series, I would imagine a lot of them are like very gimmick based, but also focused on the combat as well. So really, there wouldn't be much else to show you, and it probably does spoil a bit of the movie too. So for your sake and for mine, I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you very much for tuning in.